Tesla is a pretty unique company, I guess. Well, there are companies that don't think it is and companies that get it. Ford is one of those companies that's looking at other vehicles and really getting to understand just how far behind they are. Well, at the same time, people are selling off their Teslas. It turns out people on the secondary market are buying them up quicker than anything else. And then a great story from a very silly publication about Elon's outrageous compensation plan. It's a real whirlwind. You don't know where it's about to go, and then it goes there. My goodness. We're going to talk about all that and address questions from last week's show, because that's what we do when I'm hanging out with Mark from the Tesla Life. He's got a channel of his own over there where he has weekly live shows every Wednesday at 4 p.m. Pacific, 7 p.m. Eastern with Patrick and Casey, and a whole lot of fun. But let's get into it. I'm Brian. Welcome to Futuraza. Now, for those watching, I should tell you, comments are mandatory. Well, got to A/B test and make sure it works. But also, Mark is going into this blind. He doesn't know what he's in for. He just heard about it in the intro, and I think that's awesome. Ford says taking apart Tesla and Chinese EVs was shocking and pushed for him to shake up the automaker. One of the things they found was that there's more wiring in a Mach-E than a Model Y. Does that surprise you?
Not at all. Not at all. Because, of course, Ford is building from their experience, their past group of vehicles, their past engineers. They're using the same people, the same format that they've always used. So, yeah. They're not shaking it up. They're doing what they believe an EV should look like.
Well, we take a car and then we make it electric. Right? It sounds like the right approach. Yep. No, what you need to do is make an electric car. Interestingly, on the wiring, he had a shocking realization. Hey, how much more wire in length do you imagine a Mach-E has than a Model Y?
I haven't seen this article, so I am going to guess that a Mach-E has 7 to 8 times more.
Oh, I need a distance.
Oh, okay. That really is throwing me for a loop. A distance. Okay, let's go with quarter of a mile.
1.6 kilometers.
Okay, all right. 1.6 kilometers is 1 mile.
Wow. Yeah, I figured this was translated into metro. I think
Canadianese?
He probably said about a mile, and they're like, yeah, 1.6 kilometers. Kilometers, eh? So adding extra weight to the car and requiring a bigger and more expensive battery, sort of. I mean, I guess if you're adding extra weight, you do need it creates a vicious cycle. Heavier brakes, heavier suspension, heavier everything. Yep. Farley, who has led Ford since 2020, said the teardowns convinced him the company had to change. They also bought Xiaomi cars, and we know they bought 3 Model Ys and ripped them apart. And so they've been looking at the Chinese cars. They've been looking at the Teslas. And my ethos is take on the hardest problems as fast as you can and do it sometimes in public because you solve them quicker that way. You know, last year in 24, they lost their blue division, their EV division lost a billion smackaroos.
Wow.
And they're expecting to lose that many more again this year. Noting 50% of new car sales in China are electric compared to 10%. So if we want to have any hope of surviving in the rest of the world, we're going to have to actually make the cars that they want.
Well, that should not be a revelation to Jim Farley or anybody that's in business. If you don't have what people want and they can get it someplace else, they're not going to buy yours.
So to meet that new market, Ford is shifting its EV strategy, a new EV production line that would help them beat Ford, BYD, and Tesla. The first vehicle will be a $30,000 midsize truck in 2027.
We've heard about this. We've heard about them going back to basics and starting a Skunkworks operation to create an EV from the ground, and their first kick at the can will be this midsize truck. And the price tag is awfully low.
It's suspiciously low, unbelievably low.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. I don't believe it. Great. Have an ambitious target. If it comes out at 40, I think it'll still sell. What I fear they'll have is a model that only exists on paper that's 30, and all of the real ones that you can get are 50.
Yeah.
But if you're going to do that, you might as well just call it the Cybertruck. No, I kid.
But that's typically what GM, Ford, and Stellantis do, though, right? They come out with this really impressive number. They come out with an impressive time frame, and then they disappoint on all ends of it.
I just love the starting at under 20,000. And then you go to the dealer and you're like, yeah, I want one of those $20,000 ones. And they're like, those no, I mean, me too. Let me know when they get here. Yeah, but people have their frustrations with Tesla, Mark. That's why people are ditching their used Teslas and finding eager buyers. Are people mellowing? Or is there just a lot of inventory to go around? This study looks at 3-year-old vehicles. Doesn't look at the 10-year-olds, doesn't look at the 1-year-olds. 3 years is a good benchmark because it's when a lot of people turn over their brand new vehicle for the next brand new vehicle. And what they're finding is of the 20 fastest selling 3-year-old vehicles, Tesla Model S took the fewest days on average, just over half of the average. Model 3 was a close second, just a half a day behind it. Model Y, 4th place. So Tesla has 3 of the 4 fastest selling used cars on the market for 3-year-old models.
Yeah, that's a perfect vehicle to be looking for, especially after 3 years. All those 3 models, low maintenance, low issues with the vehicle itself, still under warranty in a lot of cases, and the main components are on the battery train warranty. So you're not worried about it. You've got a vehicle that is low maintenance, low cost on fueling, and you're able to pick it up for a steal after 3 years.
Yeah, all true. This says that most of the electric cars were on the lots below average time. But it also comes at a time as all used cars sat on dealer lots longer than last year. Buyers paid more for them, and amid greater economic uncertainty, and people increasingly looked for used deals, with the average new car costing now more than $50,000.
Yeah.
I get a lot of criticism, Mark, when I refer to something as affordable for being, like a $37,000 Tesla new. People say that's not affordable. Well, I would argue that for most people, a new car is not affordable at all. I would argue, I think most car sales are used cars for precisely that reason. We're talking relative. I'm not talking relative to a used car or one that was free that your uncle gave you. I mean, compared to other cars.
Yeah, you're talking relative to today's market.
Uh-huh. Yes.
And unfortunately, today's market says that the average new car sale is $50,000.
Yes. You're getting a lot more car for $50,000 than you used to. It's not fair to say, well, yeah, but my first car, I bought a brand new Dodge Dart and it was only this percentage of my income. What you bought was a death trap. An unreliable, gutless death trap.
But if you remember that, congratulations, you survived the death trap.
You and you alone survived.
No, there were a couple of them.
I don't remember what kind of car Christine was. I want to say it was a Plymouth, but anyway. Hey, speaking of wild rides, you ready to go on one?
I am here. Let's go.
At any given moment, you don't know where this next article is going to go.
I really don't know where it's going.
why Elon got the most ridiculous pay package in the history of humanity. Did Tesla just make the world's first trillionaire? Almost certainly not. But that's not what his colossal new deal is really about. That's negative, right? I mean, we've got a Pinocchio nose.
Yep.
But let's get into it because here's the first twist. No, Elon's not getting $1 trillion. It's not happening. Not a real thing. I'm sorry. I know you've seen lots of news suggesting his new pay package is worth that much, or that it might be worth that much, or it could end up being under certain conditions that one day might materialize. The news is wrong. It's not a lie exactly, but it's clinging to honesty by its fingernails. The pay package was structured in a way to give us a gaudy, but basically fake top line number to gawk at. And ever since the deal was approved, the media has been unable to resist the temptation to do unpaid PR work. So, right, you didn't know he was going to go that way, right?
Right.
Okay, so let's run through this.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're like, oh, he's positive. Let's run through this. Elon Musk, the CEO of Tesla, not the founder. Wait. Oh, no. Though he likes to pretend that he is, right, him and that pesky judge who adjudicated it, was given his new pay deal after the last one of the board offered him was repeatedly rejected by the courts.
Repeatedly, huh?
Repeatedly. No, I clicked on this. It was they tried to do a procedural appeal and the judge said, nah, it doesn't apply. So I guess if we want to, I mean, why don't you count every overruled objection as a repeated rejection? The new deal is massively incentive-based. Under it, he receives no salary. He gets allocations of stock when it hits certain milestones. This type of deal is like a bonus structure in a sports contract. You understand that the incentive targets are generally attainable and some are not. Rush for 1,000 yards when you did 900 last year, attainable. Rush for 20,000 yards, not attainable. No athlete would accept that. So Musk is not, and I'll put this as politely as I can since I disagree with his stance that empathy is for the weak. Musk is not a finisher. From his proposed Hyperloop concept, that he was never going to build that. That was something he gave away to you.
That's right.
To his plans for space exploration.
Yeah, he's completely missed the mark on that, hasn't he?
Yeah, I gave up.
Yeah.
I don't know whatever happened with that.
Yeah, it's just
that
a flash in the pan there. Yeah.
To his promise to reinvent the American government, that didn't work well. He consistently overpromises and underdelivers. Now, I've said this already twice, Mark, but I'll say it again because I don't know if you've heard this, but you know why Elon is so bad with timelines, right? When you say, hey, when is FSD going to be done? And he says, it is? No, it will be soon. 2 weeks, end of next year. Time travelers have no concept of when now is. He knows it is solved. So like, when is it solved? Right now, in the future. So it's a weakness. He's got to overcome it. His RoboTaxi service would, he said, have 1 million autonomous cabs on the road by 2020. As of 2025, there's fewer than 200. Yeah, everyone missed that target. Everyone. The former CEO of Waymo said the world would be so transformed by the time his kids reach 16 that they would never drive. That was, I want to say, 15 years ago, meaning his kids are out of college. And unless they went to college in Phoenix, they have a license. He promised to sell millions of Cybertrucks. Did he? Do you remember that? Promised to sell millions. I don't remember that.
No, he did not.
No, at a rate of 2. Nope, that's the capacity of that's the capacity of the line. That's the maximum capacity. So anyway, this is just great. So how feasible do these incentives look? Well, to make his $1 trillion, he's been asked to completely transform Tesla and society as we know it. He has to hit his prediction for 1 million RoboTaxis, 10 million paid users. Subscriptions might be the wrong word. I think it's just if you bought it, it still counts. He has to increase the market value more than 6-fold. And by the way, when the plan was written, it was more like 8-fold. Make it the most valuable company in the history of the world. So by quite a bit. So he would also have to build an enormous robot army and increase, the EBITDA from what it is today, which is outrageous, to, I think, 6 or 7 times that much. A lot.
Yeah.
It needs to go up a lot to hit the first tranche, not the last one, because the first tranche is at 50 billion and the last tranche is at 400 billion. The company would need to have a profit of over $1 billion a day.
A day.
A day. If you can give me $1 billion a day in profit, Mark, who am I to say no to your pay package? What?
Yeah. Who would say no to that? Exactly.
It's so dumb. If you want more thoughts on that, I've recorded many shows already. Mark is hopefully the last person I'm going to be asking questions about that because, guys, I'm getting tired. Hey, this is last week's video. Fossil fuel lies target EV grid fears, which is my editor's way of saying, I don't think Brian needs to know what the video was actually about. PowerCo begins construction on, yes. So we were talking about all these programs in Canada. Oh, yes. And the guy in the oil exec who's like, electric cars, man, they're worse than 100 years ago.
Yeah. And where are we going to get electricity from? That's an unknown commodity.
And how would you get it? Mark, you have to get it to your house.
I know. It's crazy, right? Everybody has a house. You'd have to get it to every house. I don't know how they do that.
The technology. Copper, where would you find it? What, you think it grows on trees? I mean, by the way, I just liked this video from last week as a reminder that y'all are invited to like it as well. There were very few questions on this video, rather. This is Lightning Ryan. We had given him grief because he put the glow-in-the-dark stripes on his truck to see which one would make for the best Tron striping.
Right.
And I still haven't gotten around to cleaning off the 4 crummy test strips of tape. I mean, the 2 of them are half removed, I guess. And the 2 glow pieces, I think, are just too brittle to peel off clearly. I wonder if I dig out a black light, if they'll still glow.
Send us a picture.
I got to see someone who had a flawless Tron truck, but what he had done is wrapped it first and then had some kind of tape put on that.
On the wrap. Okay.
On the wrap, not on the metal. So maybe that's it. And his was a good year old and it still looked fantastic.
There you go. Tip.
Yeah. This is a great one. How easy would it be for an operator to program a figure-8 race of self-driving Teslas? How tight could you get the figure-8 while the cars are not crashing into each other? They're perfectly timed. They're perfectly synced. You could do it, right?
Yeah.
Hell, do a light show at the same time, says the Rune. You and I can't do a light show while in motion, but if this is for a demo, that would be wild. You just have however many, I mean, it would be a lot of cars. I guess you couldn't take it on the road as a road show to all the different tracks that have figure-8s, but it would be pretty cool to see.
Yeah, absolutely. But you're not using my car to test it out.
No, and the Rune, I don't think, is suggesting that. Worldwide attention wondering when the cars are going to crash. And if they ever did, it would demonstrate Tesla's crash defenses. Love it. Love it.
Yep.
More
that, my friend, might be an idea for a user-defined Tesla commercial. So keep that in mind.
That sounds like something you could generate in AI.
Yeah.
I can't. I've tried my hand at prompts, and I am a terrible promptstitute. More triggered than Roy Rogers' horse? I need to steal that one. Well, you get a heart for that, Richard. So there are fossilize.
Ah, yes, indeed.
Very good.
Very good.
Is McGregor a real person or the author's pet rock?
Yeah, it could be either way.
Yeah, I'm not qualified. Initialism, just be wrong and say acronym like everyone else. Jeez. even when I feed the pedants, I'm the bad guy. Love it. That's great. Remember the good old days when horse and buggy advocates attacked the auto industry? Where are you going to get all that oil and gas? Not to mention a cushy national road system to drive on.
Right, exactly. Yeah. History repeats itself.
That's why I saw someone with a very relevant, it wasn't, I think it was a protest shirt. It said, save a horse, ride a cowboy. I'm pretty sure that was a protest.
I think you missed the point of that shirt.
Oh, did I? I'm just doing my best here, guys. I'm brand new to this planet, so
and he's a little bit road weary. So okay, we get it.
I can say that I am, but I'm not. We talked about the Toyota BZ Time Attack. Who asked for it? The board of directors at Toyota.
Bingo.
All right. So that was it for the questions on that particular video. That's why it's mandatory on this.
Yeah, I was thinking that we're going to have to switch it to mandatory now. So,
well, the first video we did, the one that ran probably yesterday or a couple of days, I don't know, was strongly encouraged today. It's mandatory. Guys, you know what you're doing. You're liking, you're subscribing, you're heading over to Mark's channel and doing the same. You got to show the love. Yeah, that's also mandatory. But don't send pictures of it because, guys, in the comments, what did we miss? What did we misunderstand? Leave it. I beg of you. Stay tuned and I guess not too juicy. And can't wait to hear from you clever robots on the Flippity Flop.